Hi, all. This is a very special Leap Day episode of the original guide to Spooky Empire. And why is it so special, you ask? Well, let me tell you. Because of illness, technical difficulties, scheduling conflicts, the only thing you're getting tonight is little old me. Yeah, I know it's disappointing. I'm disappointed too. So this is actually going to be a fairly short episode. We're just going to go through, well, not we, me going to go through just a few things that are going to happen at Spooky. We had a few announcements at Mayhem, and we thought we'd go ahead and just give you guys a quick heads up. And well, I guess I really do need to stop saying we tonight, don't I? Me. Okay, so let's start. First of all, for those of you who are familiar with the show, we are not actually any way whatsoever related to Spooky Empire. We are only a fan-run podcast. In fact, somebody else might be here. Let's see if there's another spooky fan who might join us. Look, kids, there's Sabrina. As I was saying, we are a fan-run podcast. Spooky has no connection or affiliation with us whatsoever. We are basically far-off cousins in the distance. We aren't related. We barely acknowledge each other in passing. We're just fans. We have no compensation from Spooky. We've just been to this show many times, and we're finally ready to say, hey, we got some tips for you as longtime goers to the con, and that's what makes us so special. We can say whatever we want. Anything. Boobs. All right, so Sabrina, how you doing there? Yeah, yeah. Well, as I said before,
can you hear me?
We can sort of hear you. All right, we'll see how this works. And Sabrina, if we have to cut you off, we'll see how it works. Anyway.
Okay, let's try it.
So anyway, let's start with the basics. And let me take off these glasses because this glare is probably killing some of you. Sabrina, what you drinking? Technical difficulties, folks. We have them. All right, well, let's just go ahead and make this a quick round, and hopefully we will do this again next week to make it a little more official.
Pop.
Oh, okay, Polar Pop. Very good. Look, she's got Polar Pop, folks. That's good stuff. So we're just going to go ahead and shoot through a couple things. First, before we get through anything, we just wanted to wish a very special person a very happy birthday. And he's the guy he's the guy that puts Spooky together for all of us. Petey, you made it. You turned another year older. Oh yeah, that warms the soul, doesn't it? Yeah, a little berry for you. Little berry. Okay, that's probably enough Barry Manilow for one day. But Petey, again, belated happy birthday. The man behind all of it just turned an undetermined age. We'll leave it at that. But hey, congratulations again, and thank you for the convention. Hope you had a happy one. Good times for all. Okay, so let's get to the meat and potatoes of why we're here. We're here to discuss all the guests that Spooky has announced over the past couple weeks. They've been busy, so let's get to it. The first is, well, he's not really the biggest surprise announcement. He was kind of hinted at in the October show's guidebook, and that is the now school teacher, former child actor, Danny Lloyd from The Shining. Can we get a round of applause for Danny Lloyd, anyone? I'm a big fan of The Shining, so that's pretty cool to have Danny Lloyd there. He's only just now started doing conventions, so there haven't been a lot of opportunities to get a hold of him before now, so this is actually a really cool deal. I'm sure there's at least one other Shining fan out there, right? Right? Anyone? Me? Am I the only one? I don't think so. Okay, look, it's pretty cool. And again, he's brand new to the con circuit. He's only just started doing a few other shows. So this is going to be, it's not going to be his first, but it'll be one of his first. So again, Danny Lloyd, who played Danny, child from The Shining, he's here. Really, that's really the only thing he really ever did that I think a lot of people would recognize. So again, that's a cool get. Next on the list, a return, the Twisted Twins, Jen and Sylvia Soska. We have had them at Spooky. This will be their third time. Always get great guests. We've had great conversations with them before. They're like super enthusiastic. They're fans, and that's what makes them really cool. They're actually, they love horror and everything else just as much as any fan at this convention. They dress up, they cosplay themselves. They're phenomenal. So we like Jen and Sylvia. Definitely meet them if you have a chance, if you haven't already. Again, third time, but guess what? They're always great. So even if you've seen them once before, go see them again. Next is Carl Weathers. Carl really doesn't need much introduction, but if you're one of these super hardcore horror fans who has never seen another movie in your entire life, anything that's not horror, the only thing you might know him from is Predator. But let's face it, he is Apollo effing Creed. How can you not know who that is, right? So he's a blast. We love him. He's also done Happy Gilmore. He has also done a little show on Disney Plus a few people have talked about called The Mandalorian. It's Baby Yoda means you can't have not seen them at this point unless you live under a freaking rock, right? So, all right, Carl Weathers. He was actually, this could have been his second time. Originally, he was booked for, I think, a year ago, had to cancel very close to the last minute, so this is going to be Carl's first time at Spooky. Again, this is a guy who has now been a part of the Rocky franchise, Predator, Star Wars, and most importantly, he played Chubbs in Happy Gilmore, and that's important, right? I think so. All right, so we have a few comments in the peanut gallery. Yep, Chubbs, folks, you know it. You know the man's work. He's great. We love him. Okay, and so number 4 on the list. Now, this is someone that it's funny. Virtually every other co-host on the show would be talking up and down about the latest guest, Dennis O'Hare. He has been part of the American Horror Story franchise for several years now. He's been on several seasons. Freak Show, Hotel. He played a very memorable character named Liz Taylor. And again, I think anyone who's a fan of the show is really, really stoked about this guy. I mean, he's actually won a Tony. He's been big Broadway stage actor. So that's kind of amazing that he's going to be down here. And we've had a bunch of American Horror Story guests before. This is the first time we've actually had him. So he was kind of one of the big names that never quite made it down. And so I know all the American Horror Story fans are just psyched for him. So that's a pretty sweet deal. So that kind of wraps up all the all the new guest announcements that we have. That's nice. We like guests. Who likes guests? Speaking of guests, you know it would have been fun if we had more guests tonight, but that's okay, because why? We have technical difficulties. Yes, we do. See this? Technical difficulties. We also have sick people. We have sick people. But you know what? It's okay. It happens. We have sick people, and they get sick. It's okay. It's not the coronavirus. We hope not. Okay, so let's just go back to a few other little items to mention. Real interesting bit of local news that might have no effect on Spooky whatsoever. Another convention has actually just been announced for the same weekend in Orlando and will literally be right down the road on iDrive at the Orange County Convention Center. It's called cosplaycon.com. I don't know why they had to include the .com. I suppose somebody already has cosplay.com or cosplaycon trademarked out there. So this looks like it's a really, well, a cosplaying convention. I think that's somewhat self-explanatory. I could be wrong with that. Seems reasonable. So if you're really into cosplay, still come to Spooky. There's always good costumes there. Honestly, I don't think this is going to have any effect on the Spooky crowd whatsoever. Let's face it, the horror fans aren't going to just go to cosplay. They might go over there to enter a costume contest and then come straight back. Looks like there's going to be a lot more going on. I'm not even sure if that thing has guests or not. So I wouldn't, for anyone who's kind of wondering, ooh, what does this mean? You know what? Spooky is a cockroach in the sense that it will never die. You can step on it, you can spray it, you can call the police, you can throw up in a hotel room or in an elevator. Guess what? Spooky always comes back. So anyway, if you're just joining us, once again, we have had, it was a kind of a perfect storm in that we had people get sick. We had people who, well, they had trouble with internet connections. We had a variety of little problems tonight, so it's going to be a short show. I'm going to go ahead and have a drink. I meant to have one earlier, but I couldn't. And, that's okay. Real quick, a few more comments, though. Viva la Spooky. Yeah, again, Al, Sabrina, yeah, it's not going to have any effect whatsoever. It's almost silly to think that to some degree. So we'll try this again, and it'll be in the near future, and hopefully, again, schedules will be better. Technical difficulties won't exist. Illness won't exist. Probably not. Probably not that. So in conclusion, 4 new guests. Danny Lloyd from The Shining, Jen and Sylvia Soska, the directors, writers, all around amazing women. Carl Weathers, Apollo frickin' Creed, and Dennis O'Hare. So good group of guests there. Pretty nice. Peanut Gallery one more time. Yeah, it happens. Hey, Horror and Sons, folks, we love Horror and Sons. Things just happen, man. Life happens. What can you do? Well, you know what I can do? I can drink, and I'm gonna, because that's what I do best. Hey, you know what? Since people are watching, just a quick question. Were the scrolling features working at all? I've been pointing at stuff all night. I just haven't been able to see it myself. But if someone give me a thumbs up, I'll know to use them for next time too. Also, as far as autograph prices, we don't know anything yet, but I'm a deal. And if anyone would like my autograph, I offered it a discount. So, all right, guys. Again, sorry for all the difficulties, but for those of you who did join us for the 15-minute mini show, You're awesome. I love you. And once again, happy belated birthday, Petey. We love you. All right, guys. Sorry again for the mix-up and the problems. We'll do better next time, I promise.